Welcome back, truth seekers, to our channel as we continue pulling the cover off Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's luxurious facades and revealing what lies beneath. We love all our precious readership and are just as glad to have you back here with us amidst all the scalding tea brewing in this royalty soap opera. Well, folks, start brewing the tea and clutch your pearls, or more appropriately keep a fainting couch close, because we are about to dive into the chasm that has rocked the House of Windsor. Yup, today we delve into the breakup of Harry and William, so acrimonious that they probably still have to keep a very large storm warning in place should either enter the other's orbit. However, before we dive into the deep end of drama, please hit that subscribe button if for some reason you have not already, and also turn your notification bell so you never miss a beat. You just don't want to miss all the great content we have coming. So, let's set the stage. Which is where Arthur Edwards comes in. A royal photographer with over 4 decades of the House of Windsor under his belt and counting, this man has seen it all, the good, the bad, and quite frankly, some of what he saw was batshit crazy. Of course, Edwards says Harry and William were joined at the hip, laughing it up like best buds, in fairyland when it came to royalty. But then, while their garden was magic for a while, came the whirlwind that is Meghan and turned it into a battlefield. Of course, I can already hear some of you rushing to Meghan's defense, and that is not entirely unfounded. According to Edwards, she was not entirely at fault, but he nevertheless blamed her for significant portions of the turmoil. Let's break it down. Everything had started out fine. The public was charmed by Meghan, who won over hearts without breaking a sweat. It used to be Meghan mania in the UK, until it turned into a strategy from hell. Edwards isn't about to get into details, but really, do we need them? We have all seen the documentaries, heard the interviews, and a tsunami of narratives that would cast shadows on British royals. Harry and Meghan have effectively become their own PR agency of sorts, one that seems hellbent on diminishing everything about the royal family. Laugh now, just kidding. Edwards said what sticks with him as the most upsetting element of this whole saga is, well, frankly, I agree, it's Harry versus William. Together, these young men grew up in the very public eye and scrutiny. Because they too all had lost a mother. Originally, they were supposed to be united against a tide of royal life. But, now they cannot even sit by themselves during their father's coronation. It is, my friends, I cannot argue against it. A real, gut-wrenching bummer. And what for? In order for Meghan to tell her truth? Since when had every minor grievance from Harry needed to be aired out in the open? Harry, was it truly worth it? Is that worth it, fucking losing your brother, your family, and dignity with regard to country? But the real victims in this is not to be forgotten. The children. Archie and Lilibet are missing out on the childhoods enjoyed by royal scions, says Edward. No romps on the beach at Sandringham, no fun and games in the Highlands of Scotland with great-granny Lilibet, or bonding time this summer either. These strangers to their history are being raised in isolated captivity over 5,600 miles from half of where they come. It's not just Harry and his children suffering from this. George, Charlotte, and Louis now, they are growing up without their dear Uncle Harry. Harry was the cool uncle, right? The one who would sneak them that extra treat and teach them foul language. Today he is the bitter man on TV calling their father names. And this is the good part, folks. Edward exposes the harm this schism has wrought upon King Charles. Can you fathom it? This man had only just now been crowned the king. He should be happy as a clam. He is instead caught up in a Kardashian feud more contentious than the Kardashians themselves. But let us for a moment think about Charles. We should have no sympathy, although one could be forgiven for feeling sorry for the guy. His one son is so right into every aspect of royal living, and does such a good job as to be almost beyond criticism. Image, Getty, the other in California, is reportedly acting as though he wants to take the whole monarchy down. Now, that is a parent's worst nightmare. But what's interesting, ladies and gentlemen, Edward, on the other hand, thinks of this like lessons from the prodigal son. He has faith that forgiveness is possible, and you know what? I wish to keep that thought too. I really hope so, but after everything that has happened, all the bridges Harry has burnt, is there real going to be any way back? Think about it. Harry has accused his extended family of racism, neglect, and institutional entrapment. He depicted leaves his father as emotionally considerably Jedi and tells unbearable king. Every single scandal within the royal family has been down to him. How do you come back from that? And we have to give Meghan her due. Edward writes of the speed at which public hostility to her in Britain has grown. But can we really fault them? She came into their lives and managed to charm them, before going on an international stage to decry the very institution that made it possible. It would be as though you went to a dinner party and then complained the next day about how bad all of the food was on social media. It's just not done, folks. But here is what really amazes me, though. Harry was the once trusted royal servant, says Edward. And he is correct. Harry, who used to light up the room. The one who dressed as a Nazi for a laugh, perhaps not the best example. But do not forget the Harry in uniform, or the Harry behind initiatives like Invictus Games with his grandmother. That was the exemplary Harry. That was the beloved Harry. And now we have solemn Harry. Frustrated Harry. Revelatory Harry. And let me tell you, it's not a pretty look. Where do the royal brothers go from here? Can they ever reconcile? And will we get to see them share that laughter and banter one more time? Honestly, I have no hope present as long as Meghan is with us. The bridge to that one he might have burned. Still, here is my petition to Harry. And, honestly, let us all admit together that he is probably reading along, as in fact I suspect he Googles his own name more than any of the rest of us combined. Snap out of it, mate. Consider what you have lost. Think about what you are giving up. Is it worth it? Living in a California mansion and selling your narrative to the highest bidder is really that much more fulfilling than being just another cog on the dynasty of all time? I would like to give this encouragement to William. Keep up the good work, my friend. Wishing you guys nothing but the best, very happy and proud of all work you're doing. Heading home amazes us. You serve diligently well in your field and are making a name for yourself. You do real honor to your nation. Keep your head down and worry about the implosion of Harry later. I say to King Charles, persevere, your majesty. It is difficult enough to dose with conflicts of the family, let alone others known as ruling a country. Or, maybe another week of organic gardening therapy. Meghan, so yeah, any comments YouTube might deem as directed towards you will get this video demonetized in a jiffy. So, in closing, this other day plays out like royal drama that is nothing more than a bad soap opera committed time period of poor acting and farcical storylines. But it does give us plenty to talk about. Let us know your thoughts on this saga down below. You're welcome to express your views in the comments. Follow us on YouTube for more exciting stories.